Hi Cancer, this is your horoscope for February 2020. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to give you a rundown of what's happening in February so you can work with the energy. We've got a Mercury retrograde happening, so that's really important. On these live videos, by the way, I see at the end of the video when it ends how many people watched, how long for, and for these live videos, the average watch time is 38 seconds. So, okay, something must be wrong. But for those of you who've made it past the first 38 seconds here, welcome to you. I'm going to give you a horoscope for February. On the 4th of February, the first thing that is really of interest to you is that Mercury, the communication planet, goes into Pisces. So Mercury is the way you think, the way you see things, the way you talk to other people. When it's in Pisces, it's much more gentle. It's much more up your alley, Cancer. It's more nurturing, it's more about feelings, it's about talking about the emotions and the abstract rather than let's get the cement down and the jackhammer. It's like talking about matters of the heart, as they say. So because it goes retrograde on the 16th, Mercury slows down and it stays in Pisces for much longer than it usually would. Mercury is quite quick and it stays in each sign of the zodiac usually for 2 to 3 weeks. But because it slows down during the retrograde or appears to be stationary and even go backwards, it stays in Pisces until the end of February going into March. So you're going to be thinking along the lines of me last, them first. Okay, so make sure that if you're someone who's codependent or who suffers with asserting themselves, or you just say everyone else is more important than I am, then you really have to put your foot down this month and really say, hey, hang on a minute, February, before we start this, I'm going to make sure that I am focused on myself and how I can take care of me as well as other people. Charity begins at home. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anyone else, correct? On the 8th of February, something that does help you is that Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, goes into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, which is fire, which is the boss. It's ruled by Mars, the male soldier, masculine principle. And it's sitting next to the wounded healer Chiron at 2 degrees in Aries in your 10th house of career. So from the 8th of February until the 16th, you're really able to transform your working life, your career, Cancer, and take care of yourself in that area of your life and really heal a wound that you suffered. So if you didn't make medical school, try again, you'll make it. If you lost a certain job because of whatever, and you think that the entire industry is now closed to you, find another way into the industry. I was watching something on YouTube and it was really interesting. The lady, she said, well, you're no longer on that TV show, but welcome to the world of podcasts and YouTube, like where people have a platform of their own and they can choose to say what they care about. You all have that. All of us have that. I'm using mine right now talking to you. So think about what you want to rectify in your working life. On the 9th of February, that sense gets even more profound within you because we have a full moon in Leo. I'm going to make a separate video on the full and new moons, as I always do, to give you more info. But for you guys, Cancer, it's important to know that the full moon in Leo happens in your second house of money. So the idea that you get about mending your career is going to really have a wonderful outcome of serving you financially very well in future. So pay attention to your ideas about your career, about your vocation, or if you're retired, what you're doing in retirement, because there can be something marvelous that takes off. Then on the 16th, we've got Mercury going retrograde until the 9th of March, and that happens in your 9th house of the higher realms, travel, education, and it's on top of Neptune, which makes things even fuzzier. So from the 16th of February until the 9th of March, it's not such a good time for you to travel. Not that there's any danger, but it just fuzzy and you'll take wrong turns and the luggage will be lost and the plane will be delayed. It's just a pain in the behind. Mercury retrograde happens 3 to 4 times a year, so we can't plan our whole lives around a Mercury retrograde. It just indicates communication problems, transportation problems, not getting emails, letters being lost, the plane being iced over and having to be scraped and that causing a delay, all of those sort of things. So from the 16th of February until the 9th of March, it's not the best time to go on a holiday for you because it'll just be like you're living in some sort of a bubble. Instead, what I would look at is using the spiritual connection that you've got to transform and continue to transform something from the past that didn't work in your vocational life that you're addressing in the here and now to really readdress it and to help it flourish. On the 17th of February, we have Mars, the male principle, the soldier, masculinity, the red planet, which rules Aries. That goes into the sign of the worker, Capricorn, in your 7th house, and it joins Jupiter, the good luck planet, Saturn, the emperor, the father figure of the astrology chart, and Pluto, transformation and change, in your 7th house of relationships. So, for some of you Cancers, you're going to be in a situation where you're with someone, you found a partner or you found a relationship that really works for you, and other people are just like, what are you doing? Are you nuts? Like, what are you doing here? Like, for instance, if you're a 38-year-old man and you have I don't know, you start hanging out with a 7-year-old girl. No, don't. The relationships that are in your life and that don't work, that are no longer effective. So for instance, me being friends with someone much younger than me who isn't in my family, nothing good is going to come out of that. Me being friends with the postman who delivers my mail and having a good relationship with him, that does matter because I want my mail. You have a very clear light on what relationships work, but it's a Mercury retrograde. So you're going to really be quite driven to work with other people on something that you see as liberating and freeing, but you may have the wrong idea. So really make sure that it's not a new thing that you've now suddenly discovered on the 16th, 17th. If you're working on something that does have to do with your career, then address something from the past and amend it and fix it. If it's relationships, be really careful of getting into a new romantic relationship from the 16th of February until the end of February, because it's really likely that he will seem perfect, but in reality he delivers or she delivers very little. On the 19th of February, we have the Sun going into Pisces, and it joins your Mercury and Neptune. So now it becomes easier for you to go through the fog and for you to see clearly again. So traveling and communication, all of that stuff eases up for you because it's in your 9th house. So the fact that it doesn't serve you for a couple of days isn't so bad really, because it clears much quicker than expected. And then finally, on the 23rd of February, we have a new moon in Pisces in your 9th house. And that's going to urge you to look within and to say, what is it that I can do about my career? How can I have a career that allows me to communicate and use my talents? And is this a hope and dream of mine that has been there for a while? If the answer is yes, pursue it and really make it happen. If the answer is no, and it's like, well, no, actually, I just thought of this on the 16th, then don't pursue that. Same way that if you meet the love of your life on the 16th of February, be very wary and careful about that. Of course, there's going to be the exception to the rules. Some Cancers are going to meet their twin flame, during this Mercury retrograde. But for the majority of people, it's time to kind of turn away from that and to address matters that are already in hand. So I hope you have a wonderful month. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, just click on book reading now, and you can book your personal reading with me. In my private sessions, I use astrology, tarot, numerology, and my intuition. I can answer any question you have. So if you're at a crossroads or you want some guidance or clarity, please get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, then please share it online and hit the red subscribe button on this channel to be part of this amazing community we've got here on this channel. The loveliest people. Talk to each other. You'll notice that there are 107,000 spiritual seekers here, and it's a wonderful resource. So make use of that. Have an amazing February, and I'll speak to you soon.